All right, everybody, welcome to another deep dive with us. Today we're tackling something a lot of you have been asking about, prepping for an automotive electrician interview.
And we're going beyond the basics today.
Absolutely. We've got a fantastic career guide put together by the pros.
We're going to be pulling some great tips from an interview guide.
And of course, we'll be talking about how RoleCatcher can help you prepare.
So you can absolutely nail that interview.
It's more than just getting the job. It's about feeling good going in.
Exactly. You want to be
I
confident.
want to impress them.
You want to show them that you are
The one.
the one.
So let's start off by going over exactly what you'll be doing as an automotive electrician.
Yeah, I think a lot of people, they think, okay, cars, electricity.
I can handle a battery.
Yeah, it's a lot more than that these days.
The guide talks about how cars are basically computers on wheels now.
It's all integrated.
Yeah, it's not just the radio and the lights anymore.
Right.
It's air conditioning, all the safety systems.
Heating, all the driver assist, like lane departure warnings, all that kind of stuff.
Yeah, backup cameras, all that.
All that runs on electricity.
So you're not just an electrician, you're like
A technician.
a computer whiz.
Yeah, you're using diagnostic equipment, specialized tools. You got to know how to read schematics.
It's high tech.
It is.
So that sounds pretty exciting, but let's be real.
Yeah.
What's the work environment actually like?
So it can be a little bit
Greasy.
greasy, yeah. Noisy, cramped spaces.
Not always the most
You're
glamorous.
going to get dirty.
But, hey, that's part of the job, right?
It's honest work. It's rewarding.
And the guide mentions that there's a lot of interaction with people, too.
Right? You're not just working on the car by yourself.
You got to be able to talk to customers.
Service advisors.
Other techs.
So good communication is key.
Yeah, being able to explain things clearly, listen to what people are telling you.
It's problem solving, but it's people skills too.
And that, my friend, is a perfect segue into why interview prep is so important.
Because you've got to be able to showcase all of that in the interview.
Not just your technical skills.
But also your personality, your passion.
Interviewers can tell if you're just going through the motions.
They want to see that spark,
That genuine enthusiasm for the work.
that you're ready to learn and grow.
So let's get down to business. We've got 10 common interview questions here from the interview guide.
And we're going to break them down one by one.
We'll talk about what the interviewer is really looking for.
Give you some tips on how to structure your answers.
And even throw in some potential follow-up questions to keep you on your toes.
All right, let's do it.
All right, question number 1. This one seems pretty straightforward.
Yeah.
Describe your experience with automotive electrical systems.
Seems simple, right?
But there's definitely a right and a wrong way to answer this one.
You don't want to just give a generic answer.
Yeah, like, I've worked on cars.
Yeah. Right. You want to showcase the depth and breadth of your experience.
So think about specific projects you've worked on.
The systems you're most familiar with.
Any specialized training you've had?
Maybe you've worked on a specific make or model a lot.
Yeah. Like if you've spent a lot of time troubleshooting BMW electrical gremlins.
Or if you're a whiz at fixing Ford truck alternators.
Mention that.
Absolutely. The more specific you are, the better.
And be prepared for follow-up questions.
Oh, yeah.
They might ask you to elaborate on a particular project.
Or to describe a time when you had to solve a challenging electrical problem.
So have a good story ready.
Because that leads us perfectly into question number 2. Can you diagnose and repair electrical problems in vehicles?
Again, it seems pretty obvious.
But it's not enough to just say yes.
You've got to show them you know what you're talking about.
Walk them through your process.
Yeah, how do you approach a problem?
What are the steps you take?
So you could start by saying something like, my first step is always to gather information from the vehicle owner.
Right. Find out what the symptoms are.
How long has the problem been happening?
Have they noticed any patterns?
Then you could talk about your visual inspection.
What do you look for?
Any loose connections, signs of damage.
And then bring in the tech.
Yeah. Talk about the diagnostic equipment you use.
Multimeters, scan tools.
Explain how you interpret the data.
And finally, how you develop a repair plan.
Making sure to follow all safety protocols.
Absolutely. Safety is paramount.
And just like with the first question, they might ask you to describe a specific example.
So be prepared to talk about a challenging diagnosis you made.
And how you successfully repaired it.
Okay, moving on to question number 3. This one's all about staying ahead of the curve. What experience do you have with hybrid or electric vehicles?
Now, this is where the industry is going.
Yeah, electric vehicles are becoming more and more common.
So even if you don't have a ton of experience yet,
It's important to show that you're interested in this technology.
That you're willing to learn.
Maybe you've taken some online courses on hybrid systems?
Or you've been reading up on electric vehicle battery technology.
Mention that.
Show them that you're proactive and eager to expand your skill set.
Because that's what employers are looking for.
People who are adaptable.
And who can keep up with the latest advancements.
Which brings us to question number 4.
Yeah.
How do you stay current with advancements in automotive electrical technology?
This is your chance to shine as a lifelong learner.
Do you subscribe to industry magazines?
Attend conferences.
Take online courses?
Mention all of that.
Be specific about the resources you use.
The organizations you follow.
Maybe there's a recent development in the industry that's really exciting to you.
Talk about it.
Show them that you're passionate about your craft.
And that you're committed to staying ahead of the curve.
Okay, question number 5. Let's get real for a minute. Have you ever had to work under pressure to fix an electrical issue in a vehicle?
I think everyone in this field has been there.
A customer needs their car fixed. ASAP.
The shop is busy.
The pressure is on.
So how do you handle it?
This is where you showcase your ability to stay calm and focused under stress.
Choose an example where you successfully diagnosed and repaired a problem under pressure.
Maybe you had a tight deadline.
Or a particularly challenging issue to solve.
Describe the steps you took to stay organized and manage your time.
And how you ultimately delivered a solution.
Remember, it's not just about fixing the problem. It's about showing that you can handle the pressure.
That you can think clearly and make good decisions even when things get hectic.
All right, let's move on to question number 6. This one's a bit more technical. Can you explain the difference between AC and DC electrical systems?
No need for a long, complicated explanation here.
Just keep it clear and concise.
Focus on the key differences.
And how they relate to vehicles.
So you could say something like AC, or alternating current, changes direction periodically.
Like the electricity in our homes.
DC, or direct current, flows consistently in one direction.
Like the power from a battery.
In vehicles, we use both systems.
The alternator generates AC power,
which is then converted to DC to charge the battery and power the electrical components.
You could even mention how the two systems interact, especially in hybrid or electric vehicles.
Just to show that you have a deeper understanding.
All right, question number 7. Safety first. How do you ensure your work meets safety standards?
This is a big one.
Electricity can be dangerous.
So you need to show the interviewer that you take safety seriously.
Talk about your process for following safety protocols.
Using the appropriate personal protective equipment.
Like safety glasses and gloves.
Isolating the battery before starting any work.
Using insulated tools.
And always double-checking your work for any potential hazards.
You could even mention any specialized safety training you've had.
Or certifications you hold.
Show them that you're committed to working safely and responsibly.
Okay, question number 8. Let's talk about customer service. How have you handled a difficult customer in the past?
We've all had them.
Those customers who are upset, frustrated.
Maybe they don't understand the problem.
Or they're not happy with the cost of the repair.
So how do you deal with those situations?
The key here is to show empathy and patience.
You want to demonstrate that you can stay calm and professional.
Even when things get heated.
Choose an example where you successfully de-escalated a conflict.
Maybe you were able to listen to the customer's concerns.
Explain the situation clearly.
And find a solution that worked for everyone.
Remember, it's not about being right. It's about finding a resolution.
And maintaining a positive customer relationship.
Okay, question number 9. Back to the technical side. Can you explain your experience with computerized diagnostic equipment?
This is where you get to impress them with your tech skills.
Cars are becoming more and more computerized.
So you need to be comfortable using diagnostic equipment.
Be specific about the types of equipment you've used.
Scan tools, oscilloscopes, multimeters.
Talk about the software you're familiar with.
And your ability to interpret the data.
Show them that you can use these tools to accurately diagnose and repair problems.
And they might ask you to describe a time when you used diagnostic equipment to solve a particularly challenging problem.
So have a good story ready.
All right, last but not least, question number 10. How do you prioritize tasks when working on multiple electrical issues in a vehicle?
This is all about organization and time management.
You've got a car with a bunch of different electrical problems.
Where do you start?
What do you tackle first?
Describe your approach to assessing the severity of different issues.
Which ones are safety critical?
Which ones are causing the most inconvenience for the customer?
And how do you develop a plan to address everything efficiently?
You could even mention any strategies you use to stay organized,
like using checklists or keeping detailed notes.
just to show that you have a system in place.
And that you can handle multiple tasks without getting overwhelmed.
All right, we just tackled 10 common interview questions for automotive electricians,
That's a great start.
but we're not done yet. In the next part, we'll talk about how RoleCatcher can help you take your preparation to the next level.
Get ready to unleash the power of AI.
We'll be right back.
Welcome back, everyone. Ready to talk about how RoleCatcher can help you prepare for your automotive electrician interview.
Definitely. I feel like we've covered so much already, but I'm always interested to learn about how technology can make things easier.
Me too. And RoleCatcher is honestly pretty amazing. It uses AI to help you really personalize your preparation.
AI. So it's not just like a website with generic advice.
Nope, not at all. It actually analyzes the specific job you're applying for.
Wow. Okay. How does that even work?
So let's say you're interested in a job at a dealership that specializes in electric vehicles.
Yeah.
You can plug that job description into RoleCatcher,
Okay.
and its AI will scan it, figure out what keywords and skills they're really emphasizing.
So it's reading between the lines, basically.
Exactly. And then it helps you tailor your answers to highlight those specific things.
So I'm not just hoping I'm hitting the right points, it's actually telling me what to focus on.
Exactly. It takes the guesswork out of it. You're presenting yourself as the ideal candidate for that particular job.
That's incredible. But what about actually practicing those answers? I mean, I can write down a great response, but actually saying it out loud in the interview is different.
Totally get that. And RoleCatcher has a feature for that too. It's called video practice.
Okay, that sounds interesting. Tell me more.
Basically, you can record yourself answering those tough interview questions.
Like the ones we just went over.
Exactly. And then the AI analyzes your video.
Whoa, really?
Yeah, it looks at everything, your body language, your tone of voice, how clearly you're explaining things.
No more awkward pauses or rambling on and on.
Nope. It gives you specific feedback on how to improve your delivery. And you can practice as many times as you need.
So it's like having a personal interview coach.
That's a great way to put it.
I love it. So, okay, let's say we've aced the interview with RoleCatcher's help.
Awesome.
What does the career path look like for an automotive electrician?
That's something our career guide goes into. And it's exciting. The industry is constantly changing.
So it's not just about fixing cars, it's about staying on top of new technology.
Exactly. Think electric vehicles, autonomous driving, all those advanced driver assistance systems.
There's a lot going on.
And skilled electricians are in high demand. You could specialize in a particular area.
Like becoming an expert in electric vehicle systems.
Yeah. Or maybe you move into a leadership role. Become a shop foreman or a service manager.
Okay, so there's room for growth. I like that.
There's a lot of potential in this field. And, the guide even mentions some related fields you could explore.
Oh, like what?
Marine electrician.
Working on boats?
Yeah, or rolling stock electrician.
So like trains. That's pretty cool.
It is, and that's another area where RoleCatcher can be helpful. It has a career compass feature. It helps you explore different career options based on your interests and experience.
So even if I'm not sure exactly what I want to do long term,
It can help you figure it out.
that's fantastic.
And of course, RoleCatcher also has those handy career guides we keep talking about.
The one we're using for this deep dive.
Yeah, plus skill guides to help you stay sharp, even online courses if you want to learn something new.
Wow, so it really is like a whole career development toolkit.
It is. It's designed to support you at every stage of your career.
I'm impressed.
And remember, all those interview questions we went over, RoleCatcher can help you craft amazing answers for each one, tailored to this specific job.
So I'm not just going in blind.
Nope, you're walking in prepared and confident.
I love it. But I do have a question. The automotive industry is changing so quickly. How can someone preparing for an interview show that they're ready for those changes, ready for the future?
That's a great question, and it goes back to what we talked about earlier, being aware of the trends, the new technology.
Like electric vehicles, autonomous driving, AI.
Yeah, do some research before your interview.
And don't be afraid to bring it up.
Talk about any online courses you've taken, industry events you've attended.
Even just things you've read about. Show them you're curious and eager to learn.
Because the future of this industry is all about adapting to new technology, and the people who are excited about that are the ones who are going to thrive.
That's inspiring. So it's not just about getting a job. It's about starting a career that's going to evolve with the industry.
Exactly. All right, welcome back to the final part of our deep dive. It's been a whirlwind of info, but hopefully you're feeling prepped and ready to tackle that automotive electrician interview.
Absolutely. But before we wrap up, I think it's time we gave RoleCatcher a little more love.
Oh, yeah, for sure. We've talked a lot about those interview questions, but RoleCatcher can do so much more than that.
It really is like a whole toolbox for your job search. And the AI features are just mind-blowing.
I know, right? It's like having a whole team of career coaches right there in your pocket.
One thing we haven't touched on yet is the Salary Insights tool. That sounds super helpful.
It is. You can actually look up what other automotive electricians are making in your area.
Oh, wow. So I can go into those salary negotiations knowing what to expect.
Exactly. Knowledge is power, right?
Absolutely. So as we wrap things up, let's recap a few key takeaways for all those future electricians out there.
Great idea.
I think number one has got to be preparation. The more you know about the company, the job, even the person interviewing you, the better.
Definitely. And practice, practice, practice. RoleCatcher's video practice tool is perfect for that.
You can iron out those nervous habits, really nail your delivery. And honestly, walking into that interview feeling confident can make all the difference.
So true. But it's also about letting your personality shine through. Let the interviewers see your passion for this stuff.
Because at the end of the day, you can teach someone the technical skills, but that enthusiasm, that drive, that's got to come from within.
And as the industry changes, as things get more high-tech, that passion for learning is going to be more important than ever.
Absolutely. This is a field where you can really build a career, not just a job.
And it all starts with that interview. So go out there, show them what you've got.
We're rooting for you. And hey, if you're feeling a little lost or overwhelmed, don't hesitate to check out RoleCatcher.
It's free to sign up, and it might just change your whole career trajectory.
Thanks for tuning in, everyone. That wraps up our deep dive into the world of the automotive electrician.
We hope you found it helpful.
We'll be back soon with more career tips and insights. Until then, best of luck with those interviews.